Hi, this is Dr. Rajeshwar from Pharma Tube. In the last lesson, we learnt an introduction to phenols, the acidity and the effect of substituents on acidity of phenols. In today's video, we discuss the qualitative tests of phenols. From this lecture, you will be able to learn the various qualitative tests of phenols such as solubility, litmus test, ferrichloride test, bromine water test, phthalate test and Lieberman's test. Qualitative tests. A qualitative test indicates the presence or absence of a substance. The results are expressed not numerically but in qualitative terms such as positive, negative, reactive, non-reactive, normal or abnormal. Qualitative means relating to the nature or standard of something rather than to its quantity. That is the whole difference between qualitative and quantitative research. The 6 different qualitative tests for phenols include number 1 solubility, number 2 litmus test, number 3 ferrichloride test, number 4 bromine water test, number 5 phthalate dye test and number 6 Lieberman's test. Coming to the first qualitative test for phenol is solubility. Solubility is the ability of a solid, liquid or gaseous chemical substance which is referred to as the solute to dissolve in solvent that is usually a liquid and form a solution. Solubility tests can suggest the size and polarity of an unknown compound and the presence of acidic or basic functional groups. A compound's solubility in aqueous acid or base involves ionization of the compound and therefore a chemical reaction. The salts produced are water soluble. Phenols are said to be acidic due to the ionization of the molecule. Phenol dissociates into a phenoxide ion and hydronium ion in water. Phenols are sparingly soluble in water but soluble in most of the organic solvents such as ethanol, methanol, diethyl ether, acetone and chloroform. Here we see the solubility of phenol in water, dilute solutions of an acid that is hydrochloric acid, alkali solutions such as sodium hydroxide, sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate. Solubility in water. Phenol is not soluble in water due to its ability to form hydrogen bonding with water molecules. However, the large part of a phenol molecule is a phenyl group that is nonpolar and hence its solubility is limited in water. However, the polarity of this part also increases in phenoxide ion. Hence, phenol is sparingly soluble in sodium bicarbonate solution. Solubility in 5% hydrochloric acid. Phenol dissociates to form phenoxide ion. As phenol is a weak acid, the equilibrium lies to the left, that is, phenol remains primarily in undissociated form. In acidic solutions, the equilibrium remains unaffected and also phenol remains unaffected. Solubility in 5% sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate solutions. Since phenols are slightly acidic in nature, they are soluble in alkalis like sodium hydroxide and sodium bicarbonate solutions. When phenol reacts with sodium hydroxide, it gives sodium phenoxide, which is a sodium salt of phenol. This removes hydrogen ion from phenol by hydroxide ions of sodium hydroxide, which is eliminated as water. The sodium ion then combines with the phenoxide ion to form sodium phenoxide. The acidic nature is due to the formation of resonance stabilized phenoxide ion formed by losing a proton from hydroxyl group of phenol. Solubility in sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate is a weak base, so it easily accepts protons when reacting with a stronger acid like a carboxylic acid, but it is not strong enough to pull the proton off the phenol. Thus, phenols are less acidic than carboxylic acids and do not react with sodium bicarbonate to form water-soluble salts. As a result, phenols are insoluble in 5% sodium bicarbonate solution. Number 2. Litmus test. Litmus paper changes color if the solution is acidic or basic in nature. Litmus paper is of two types, blue litmus and red litmus. Acidic solutions turn blue litmus paper into red and basic solutions turn red litmus paper into blue. Phenols show the litmus test and turns blue litmus paper to red. This indicates that phenol is acidic in nature. Here, you need to keep it in mind that carboxylic acids also give positive to this litmus test. So, to distinguish between two, you need to compare the acidity of both carboxylic acid and a phenol. Phenols are found to be less acidic than carboxylic acids. This is confirmed when carboxylic acids react with sodium carbonate, gives effervescence, while phenols does not form. Thus, litmus test is not a confirmation test to detect the presence of phenol in a solution of organic compounds. Method. Take the sample solution in a test tube and place 1 to 2 drops of it on the blue litmus paper. Color of litmus paper changes from blue to red indicates that the given solution may contain phenol. Number 3. Ferric chloride test. This test is based on the fact that the phenols give a colored complex with neutral ferric chloride solution. The ferric chloride test is used to determine the presence of phenols in a given sample or compound, for instance natural phenols in a plant extract. Enols, hydroxamic acids, oximes and sulfinic acids give positive results as well. Method. The sample is dissolved in water or a mixture of water and ethanol and a few drops of dilute ferric chloride solution is added. The formation of red, blue, green or purple coloration indicates the presence of phenols. Where the sample is insoluble in water, it may be dissolved in dichloromethane with a small amount of pyridine. Preparation of ferric chloride solution. Neutral solution of ferric chloride is prepared by adding diluted solution of sodium chloride to ferric chloride solution drop by drop until a small but permanent brown precipitate appears. Filter the solution and use the clear filtrate for the test. Phenols form a complex with ferric ions. This complex has an intense color which may vary from blue, green or even red depending upon the nature of the phenol. Clinical uses. The ferric chloride test can be used to detect metabolites in urine in case of inborn error of metabolism such as phenylketonuria. Compounds such as phenyl pyruvate increase in plasma and are excreted out via urine. Also, it can be used to detect salicylates in urine, quick diagnostic test for aspirin overdose. Number 4. Bromine water test. The bromine water test is a qualitative test for the presence of unsaturation, that is the compounds having carbon-carbon double or triple bonds, phenols and anilines. This test is based on the electrophilic substitution reaction of phenol with bromine. When phenol reacts with bromine water, gives a polybromo derivative as shown in the reaction. All hydrogen atoms present at ortho and para position in phenol with respect to hydroxyl group are replaced by bromine atoms. Thus, by reaction of phenol with bromine, white precipitate of tribromophenol is formed. Method. Dissolve the given sample of 0.05 grams of phenol in a small quantity of glacial acetic acid or in a dilute hydrochloric acid in a clean and dry test tube and add bromine water dropwise into the test tube slowly until the bromine color remains. Observe the change in color from orange-red to colorless and a white precipitate is formed. White precipitate confirms the presence of phenol in the given sample. Number 5. Phthalate dye test. Phthalate dye test is also known as a phenolphthalein test. Most of the phenols give this test accurately and show the result precisely. Phenol gets condensed on heating with phthalic anhydride in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid and forms phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein gives pink colored compounds on reaction with a limited amount of sodium hydroxide, while in excess of sodium hydroxide, it gives a colorless compound. See the reaction. Method. To 100 milligrams of the phenol in a test tube, add an equivalent amount of phthalic anhydride. Then add 2 to 3 drops of concentrated sulfuric acid in the same test tube in which sample and phthalic anhydride has been taken and heat the test tube in an oil bath for about 2 minutes. Cool the mixture and pour the content into a beaker carefully which contains 15 ml of dilute sodium hydroxide solution. Observe the color change. If the color of the reaction mixture changes to pink, red, green or blue, then it indicates the presence of phenol in the given organic compound. However, here you need to note that if sodium hydroxide solution is added in large amounts, that is excess sodium hydroxide solution, then it may cause disappearance of color and we get a colorless compound. The colors produced by different phenolic compounds in phthalate dye test is listed in this table. And the last qualitative test for phenols is Lieberman's test. This test is given by those phenols which have a free para position. In this test, phenol is dissolved in concentrated sulfuric acid and sodium nitrite solution is added in it. In this mixture, sodium nitrite reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid and gives nitrous acid and sodium sulfate. Nitrous acid reacts with phenol and gives para-nitrosophenol. This para-nitrosophenol in excess of phenol and on dilution gives indophenol complex, which is in red color. When indophenol complex reacts with strong alkali such as sodium hydroxide, forms a blue colored indophenol anion as shown in the reactions here. Method: place a small amount of sodium nitrite crystals in a clean dry test tube. Add 100 mg of phenolic compound in it and heat the test tube for about 30 to 35 seconds gently. Allow the test tube to cool and then add 1 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid and shake the test tube gently and carefully to mix the contents of it. Observe the change in color and dilute the solution with water. If a phenol group is present in the given compound, then on dilution, red colored compound is formed. Now add sodium hydroxide in the red solution and observe the change in color. When we dilute the solution with water, the solution turns red in color and on adding sodium hydroxide in it, solution turns blue or deep blue in color. Deep blue color confirms the presence of phenol in the given sample. These are the references followed for this lecture. That's all in this video, the qualitative tests for phenols. In the next lesson, we discuss the structure and uses of phenol, cresols, resorcinol and naphthols. Till then, never stop learning and never stop watching my videos. Thank you for watching this video.